So, what's your name?
Tobias Leering.
And how do you relate to me?
I am your best friend.
Yes, you are.
Best of all friends. Also a roommate. We live together. And yeah, that is it. Unfortunately.
Alright, so today I think we're just going to talk a little bit about your work. And so yeah, we can start there. So what do you do? And
I am by title a financial assistant. I work at Northwestern University. It's in their medical school, but it's purely a financial position. And basically what I do is there's a dozen or so labs that do research in my building, and all of those labs have orders, they have needs, they have stuff like that. So I am essentially the middleman between them and like the purchasing. So like if they have any problems with their orders, then I'm the person that they go to, and I'm the person that handles it.
okay.
They also do like conferences and stuff, so they'll go abroad and they have expenses, and I have to like track that and make sure that they get reimbursed for that. Trivial tech stuff, bureaucratic stuff like that.
Okay.
So I guess you could say in layman's terms, I'm like the bureaucrat of the office. But I've been at the job for a few months now, and it's going relatively well.
Sounds pretty well. Okay. So you'd say that you overall like it for the most part?
There are their issues, but I think as far as a first job straight out of college, it's very good.
Okay. So let's break that down even more. Let's go into what you think some pros might be of your job and what you're getting out of it. If it's not right now, what do you think you get out of it in the future, or if it's immediate, something you're getting immediately, just like stuff like that.
Sure. I think pros include a very like structured work schedule. So like you obviously know that the latest I'll probably get home around is like 6:37, which is, you know, not all jobs have that, and like that's something that I think is very good for my type of personality. I don't like, if there's overtime, you know, that's fine, whatever, but like some jobs it's just much more volatile. So that's one of my favorite parts of the job. The other is that it's like there's a dozen or so labs, but my like department, like the financial part, is like pretty small. So I know everyone, like we all communicate very well, they're nice people, friendly, helpful. So and again, like that's not true of all places. So like I hear a lot of stories about just like very demanding bosses, especially in people's first jobs out of college. So again, pro. But I guess lastly is that it's really given me the skills, like not like pigeonholing me. So like I have like it's a wide variety of skills that I'll be able to take like anywhere. So like if I want to become something else and go in a completely different direction, then like no matter what I do, it's going to translate.
Right.
So I think that's probably the biggest pro.
Okay. Alright, let's stop real quick and make sure we're recording and everything.
Okay.
Alright, so we went over some pros. Now let's go into the fun stuff. Let's think of some cons about your job. If there is any, that is.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always downsides.
Right.
One downside is I have a pretty long commute. I've like figured it out so that I've made it as efficient or as I think I can. And it's like about 50 minutes, and some days it just really sucks. But the biggest thing that I think the biggest con, I would say, is that there's a lot of like very demanding people in
Yeah.
like demanding in a way that's it's hard to describe. Like these are very
Is it
accomplished
demeaning?
people. What?
Demeaning?
I think some people would take it that way. I don't think I do.
Okay, that's good at least.
I understand that it's like it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're just like very accomplished people that like there are accomplished people that are very socially aware and there are accomplished people that are not, and like in this field like they're research like doctors, like they've studied academic
Mm-hmm.
their whole lives. They're not like social extroverts. Well, some of them are, but like most are not.
Yeah.
And so these people, like, there's just a lot of things that they need urgently, and I don't think that they really take into account like how long things take. And like, I'm the person that handles all of that.
Okay.
So like, when things go poorly, then it's on me.
Right.
So like, I knew that from the beginning. Like in my interview, they were like, "This is not like a job for like someone with thin skin."
Right.
And I was like, yeah, like, I mean, I guess we'll see what I'm made of, but like, I don't think I do. And some days it's worse than others, but like, some days it does get, like, there'll be like emails where it's like, basically like the professional way of saying fuck you.
Yeah,
pretty
right.
much.
Okay.
So that's probably the biggest con. But again, like, maybe I just don't have the perspective, but I assume at other jobs it's much worse.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's bad, but it's not like something that would make me quit or anything.
Not awful. Okay.
Yeah.
So since we went over pros and cons, maybe we could, maybe you could think of some ways that you could make your job better. Like, what are some things that you would do personally if you were in charge of changing your job description and how it like might benefit your job or make your job easier? Like, what are some things that you could do if you had that power?
I think the biggest problem is how bureaucracy works and how slow and unreliable it is. So I think there's a lot of people who would be interested in the answer to that question. Because I do believe it's sort of a necessary evil, in that if the process is slow and things get checked overly carefully, then it's like a good thing.
Right.
But it also sucks to deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if there was one thing that I would change, it would be just like how like information is relayed from one department to another. Like we talk to these people all the time through email and like on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But we are on like different planets, it seems like. And like if there was a way to bridge that and make it so that like, I don't know if it's seeing people face to face, because I don't think that's the answer, but like to make things more reliable for one party to another, that would be like the golden rule or the golden cure rather, to get rid of it all. But again, I don't know. If you knew you'd be
Right.
Bill Gates or Ballmer, whoever runs Microsoft these days.
All right. So lastly, let's talk about, do you think you're using this job as a stepping stone, or you think you want to like keep at it for a couple more years, or do you think you have an idea now that from working at this job, what you want to do in the future? Or are you still unsure about?
I don't have a definitive answer, but I have thought about it, and my options are pretty open, but like the ones that are definite are if I were to stay in this position and like move up, I'd be like a research administrator.
Okay.
And in that role I would handle like, subcontracts or, either that or go like higher up the finance ladder. So, that would be me dealing with bureaucracy my whole life. So that's a decision that I'd have to live with,
Right.
can pay handsomely. But the other one that I think is in first place, if there is a first place, is to actually sort of go your route and go back to school and get a PhD in economics, because I don't know, I listen to these podcasts about these people who like they're just like data freaks, and they have like these statistical models, like that one I was telling you about, Pull the Goalie, which I finished my thought.
Yeah.
And that's who those guys are. Is they have PhDs in either economics or finance or what have you.
Okay.
Statistics, and that like that type of stuff like absolutely fascinates me.
Okay.
Like that's like the coolest stuff in the world, and if I know it's an incredibly high goal and that it's most likely unattainable, I think the options with a PhD in economics would be something similar to that, even if I didn't get to that level.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two options right now, but we'll see.
Okay.
Things change.
Well, thank you for sitting down and talking with me.
You're welcome.
Alright. Cool. Alright, thank you.
You're welcome. Ugh. I didn't know if I was giving like too convoluted